Space date 157 Mark 24. Our ship has reached Galaxy 25738-926, and I will be conducting my studies on a planet called Earth. Earth is inhabited by a species called humans. While genetically similar to Kryptonians, they lack advanced technology and intergalactic space travel. I have been learning how to communicate with them. Up yours, human. My name is Lex. It is a pleasure to... I may have confused my hand signals. Hello, my name is Lex. It is a pleasure to meet you. My human communication skills are flawless.
Excuse me. Could you take a pic of me?
Are you addressing me?
Yeah.
Computer, take photograph. I said computer, take photograph. Primitive human technology.
You press this button right here.
Of course, I knew that. Are the photos to your liking?
Well, you got one of the tree, of the grass, and of the dog?
Yes, for your scientific records.
I just want a pic of myself.
That sounds pointless and narcissistic.
Rude? It's for my Instagram account.
Instagram?
Yeah, you know, the social media app.
For the government to have digital photographic records of its citizens.
Are you high?
I am not that high. I stand about 5'2".
You're funny. You know what? Let's start over. Hi, I'm Carly.
Hello, my name is Lex. It is a pleasure to meet you. Is this the gesture you were expecting?
Well, screw you.
Screw you as well. We must do this again sometime. I must tell the captain about my first successful interaction with the human life form. Space date 157 Mark 25. I have settled into my Earth quarters. Today, I will be receiving my official mission. As a physicist, I am fairly certain the captain will be assigning me to study human space travel. I am currently awaiting the arrival of my other team members. They are approximately 8 minutes and 32 seconds late. 33 seconds, 34 seconds, 35. You are exactly 8 minutes and 35.8 seconds late.
I'm sorry. I was mesmerized by this plant that was growing these things outside. They had the most wonderful aroma. I had to take a moment to smell them.
What is this?
I think it's food. No, that's not food.
Where is the rest of our team?
I'm the only one he sent.
What? Well, do you at least have expertise in a scientific field, preferably physics?
I took some courses studying the sociology of biological life forms at the academy.
Sociology is not a real science.
Well...
Are you high?
Are you asking me if I've been smoking marijuana?
That is not what that means, you genetic misstep. It is a question a human asked me. She was asking me how high my height is. That must be the captain contacting us about our mission.
Greetings, fellow explorers, Lex and Zalax. I hope you're acclimating to your earthly environment. Humans are one of my favorite species to study. Someday I'll tell you about the time I abducted Ryan Reynolds.
Who is Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, he's an actor from the romantic comedy Deadpool. I was watching some human movies on the flight over.
Are you both ready for your new assignment?
Yes, Captain.
You will be studying the human race, a sociological look into the core of what it means to be human. You will infiltrate their society by masquerading as the offspring of a human coupling, a brother and sister. You will attend a human college posing as foreign exchange Will you stop that?
Sorry, I've never seen a human lamp before, so.
Captain, you must be mistaken. I am a highly esteemed astrophysicist. Shouldn't I be infiltrating NASA?
We have plenty of Craytonians at NASA, but not enough sociologists.
Captain, with all due respect,
This mission is of great importance. We really need you to do this for us, Lex.
I did not realize the significance of this mission, Captain. It would be my honor to lead it.
I knew I could count on you, Lex. If you do a good job on this mission, I'll see to it that you get fast-tracked to become captain of your own exploration ship. And I'll make sure you receive the Galactic Hero Achievement Award.
The Galactic Hero Achievement Award? I have always wanted to be the recipient of such a high honor.
It's the highest achievement a Craytonian can receive. I have several myself.
I will make sure to exceed your expectations, Captain. Perhaps we can start by studying how humanity views science.
Perhaps start with another subject. Humans are such social creatures, something more integral to their lives.
We can study dating and relationships. It's something I learned about in the human movies I was watching on the way over. Their dating rituals seem quite fascinating, Captain.
Relationships. Like how one would professionally interact with a colleague while working on an assignment, then cease all interactions as soon as the task is complete.
No. Humans oftentimes form emotionally charged connections with one another. Some connections involve physical and intimate contact.
That sounds unsanitary and primitive.
Studying their dating rituals sounds intriguing. Are you sure you want to start with that?
Absolutely not.
We have no reservations about trying new things.
That's a very bold thing to say, Zalax. From your files, I see that you were created from one of the Admiral's eggs.
Yes, I was the only one from the Admiral's genetic line to survive.
I can see a little of the Admiral's heroism in you. Yet also in your files, I see that you are on probation for taking an unauthorized joyride in a spacecraft. A careless mistake.
So is this like another warning?
This is serious, Zalax. If you show any more signs of insubordination, I'll remove you from this mission and make sure you spend the rest of your days as a janitor on Craytonia. You have two choices. Assist Lex with this mission, or spend the rest of your life cleaning up toilet scum. It is decided then. Your first assignment will be to study dating and relationships. I'll be looking forward to your team's report.
Of course, Captain. Expect nothing but the highest level of excellence from us. As a high-ranking explorer... He signed off.
Ooh, what's this? Game of Thrones? Oh, that's cool. Lex, come watch Game of Thrones.
today's world, it's hard to imagine a place where you have no radio, no cell phone, no satellite signal, that's just silent. But about 400 miles west of El Paso is a place where this happens. It's in the Chihuahuan Desert, and it's called the Zone of Silence. It's in northern Mexico, and it's hot, arid, desert. The region has been pretty much all but undiscovered because it's so hard to get to, and it really is a very difficult place to survive. But the name Zone of Silence was not given until 1966 when Pemex, the national oil company, sent an expedition to explore the area. The leader, Augusto Harry de la Peña, was frustrated by the problems he was having with his radio, so he christened it the Zone of Silence. But on July 11, 1970, this area made headlines again. An Athena rocket was launched from a U.S. Air Force base in Green River, Utah, as part of a scientific mission to study the upper atmosphere. It was supposed to come down near White Sands, New Mexico, but instead it went astray for some reason and crashed into the heart of the Zone of Silence. On July 11, 1970, Henry Kissinger wrote this memo that said, at 5 a.m. EDT today, an Athena rocket test fired from the Green River, Utah, overshot its target at White Sands, New Mexico, and impacted 180 to 200 miles south of the Mexican border. Since the missile made an abnormal re-entry into the atmosphere, it is believed that less than 100 pounds of debris actually impacted on the ground. The precise location of impact has not yet been determined, but the general area is known to be sparsely populated. The State Department has notified the Mexican government, which has indicated its willingness to gain clearance and assist in the search efforts. The cleanup effort was long, costly, and included the construction of a road through the Mapimi Desert to excavate hundreds of tons of soil from this impact site. The scale of the cleanup was due to the fact that the rocket was carrying 2 small vials of cobalt-57, an isotope used to enhance radioactive fallout with the intention of contaminating large areas of land, commonly referred to as a salted bomb. In fact, there seems to be a good amount of evidence pointing to the fact that the ramifications of a misfired rocket impacting foreign soil were not only considered prior to the construction of the Green River Launch Complex, but were taken seriously enough to halt launch plans at other facilities for fear of triggering an international incident. Werner von Braun, who some of you might remember as the famous Nazi rocket scientist from Operation Paperclip, who helped build NASA, came to investigate on behalf of the U.S. And then von Braun took reconnaissance flights to confirm the crash site. Von Braun was there for 28 days after the crash. And when they came, the Americans brought temporary dormitories, labs, kitchens, medical facilities, and set them up right here in the desert. They even built a runway, and they hauled away tons of debris. And after they cleaned up the debris, it was called Operation Great Sand, and the contamination in Mexico was 60 drums worth. But everything's gone now. A cobalt bomb would render affected areas habitable but not safe for constant habitation, effectively stuck in this interim state for decades. But what they did discover that there's high levels of magnetite in the ground. And what magnetite is, it's a mineral. It is the most magnetic of all the naturally occurring minerals on Earth. And this area has a bunch of it. It's also been discovered that the area has had a lot of meteorite activity. So they're thinking that there may be something being left by the meteorites, or maybe the meteorites are attracted by the magnetic properties associated with the mineral. Another interesting part of the Zone of Silence, it's geographically located just north of the Tropic of Cancer and has the same latitude south of the 30th parallel as the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle has also been a place where strange occurrences happen. Compasses and equipment on boats and planes do strange things, and maybe possibly it has a magnetic component to it as well. Now, besides all of this activity, there's also a number of strange sightings and other things that have come out of this area. Residents of the Zone of Silence for years reported seeing disc-shaped flashing orbs streaking across the sky. And they also see huge fireballs, which is probably the meteors crashing to Earth. But there's been centuries of weird events. Back in the 1850s, farmers reported hot pebbles falling out of the sky, just to make it a little more strange. They've also encountered strange humanoid creatures. You may have heard of the Men in Black. These individuals, human-like things, appear in areas of high alien or UFO suspected activity. They're usually dressed in black, and they're tall, and they're this very pale, blonde, kind of strange-looking people. And in the Zone of Silence, one ranch family claims that they're visited by a trio of these, 2 males and a female, who speak Spanish. The story told in this area is that they only asked for water, never for food. And then when one rancher asked where they came from, they said from above. So take that as you will. The Mapimi Biosphere Reserve was established in 1977, and it's a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Supposedly, what they investigate here is the scrubland and desert ecosystems. And of course, it's interesting that the rocket crashed in 1970 and they established the reserve in 1977. And it is a little strange that we have this Laboratorio del Desierto right a little bit south of the Zone of Silence. And when you click to find more about it, it says it's a graduate school in Mexico. And if you want more info, there is no more info. I wonder what it is they're studying there. I'm sure it's just the fauna. The only information it gives is that it's open 24 hours. So that's good to know. Why that would be, I don't understand. Guess if you want to stop on in, they're always open, just like your local 7-Eleven, except this is out in the middle of nowhere. How come every time the US government gets involved in some sort of secret missile, secret Area 51 type stuff, people start seeing UFOs?
Hola. Did you get my gift? I know it's a little bit cheesy, but maybe it won't make you feel so lonely. Bueno, Dad said you're still not picking up his calls. Remember when we were young and Papi used to take us fishing? Those are some of my happiest memories.
Hey there! If this is your first time here, I'm your host, Mr. Biz. In this channel, we emphasize on the importance of crypto mass adoption, decentralization, and other crypto-related stuff that's changing the world and going. So, why not show us some love, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss out on the next 100 plus coin. So, just tell me what you want to say.
I'm sorry, we haven't talked in a long time.
Oh, that's pretty easy. Just repeat after me. Lo siento, no nos hemos visto en muchos años.
Lo siento. No vemos mucho años. What?
It's just that you got it all wrong. It's basically you said that you were feeling your anus.
Can you just write me a note that says, sorry for tiptoeing across the tulips?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you how to make a pandemic-proof business. Now, I'm qualified to say this because I made the most money I've ever made in my entire life during this recent pandemic. Keep watching. Today, we're talking about pandemic.
Miss Moon, hey, you haven't fallen asleep? Hey? I'll keep going, okay? Bitcoin has succeeded in its goal of giving its...
And he kind of said, Bitcoin bull market second leg has started, and you can see that historically when that happens, Bitcoin goes parabolic. So when I overlay this chart and this chart, and I thought that there's a lot of...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to... If you were ever called crazy, or you were told that this was the next tulip bubble, well, welcome to 50K Bitcoin. You are witnessing history on the making. This goes to all the crypto haters out there, all the Peter Shives. They need you. They need Mr. Biz. They need Mr. Biz.
I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. In the algorithm, gon' get him a jail, prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. In the algorithm, gon' get him a jail, prison sentence on to prison. And that's a nerdy living.
No, yo no voy a hablar con él. Ya te dije, hermana, que no voy a hablarle. Además, si él tanto quisiera hablar conmigo, entonces ¿por qué no me habla él, Adiós. Welcome back, my fish and crypto fam. Today I'm sharing with you one of my most exciting projects. We all know that launchpads are under fire after the Polkastar hit the scene, but now it's all about the Obo ignition. I am so bullish. I'll talk to you about all the details, the tokenomics, and all that uses stuff after we get a message from our sponsor. Have you ever wanted to add a little mystery in your life? Have you ever wanted to disappear in the blink of an eye? Well, look no further. The Cloak of Mystery is a form-fitting, patent-pending wearable that allows you to disappear.
Even though Bitcoin has got whiplash, we still think that
Didn't
Bitcoin
China
is going
ban
to
Bitcoin mining?
106,000. But
what's
I
that?
think there's a huge pullback.
Oh, I heard
the
China
pullback
banned
is coming.
Bitcoin mining, and now the whole market is crashing.
Oh, it's most likely fake news, just to try and flood the
I
market.
mean, it didn't sound like fake news. My brother called me up freaking out about some kind of crypto winter.
Which one is good?
That's exactly what
Like you could be getting that
This
bearish
becomes
breakdown.
again, you don't understand
The
about
trend line of the
combined with
looks
everything
like
you don't understand about what you
March,
do.
1 million accounts.
They make currency.
Wash
You should
over a
control
trillion.
about these
Bonds
things.
that
Rafsi's out there, huh?
A passenger walked the plank.
Ruthless.
They think Bitcoin's a digital cult.
And what do you think?
Well, I think that's the one thing that no one can take away from me.
I almost forgot. It'll help you with blocking. Catch.
Jacqui?
Laser eyes. Laser eyes. Laser eyes. Look out. Those laser eyes will take the whole place down. Laser eyes. Take cover, my friends. Those laser eyes demand silence.
Hello there, how you guys doing? I am Mr. Biz, the crypto expert. Just really busy and not being able to get out new content, so that's why I thought I would just do some more casual live streams. Danny T's asking me what is going on with the current market. Well, actually I've been looking at data from Glassnodes and everything from sport to the network exchange and the mining activity tells me that there's a price divergence that does not reflect what's actually going on in the network. You can be just reassured that we're still bullish and everything is great. Oh, hey guys, I just have to leave real quick. I'm sorry.
Bitcoin Bitcoin and Cardano crashed to the downside. Many people asking the question,
Bitcoin and crypto markets have taken a huge down. It's down 10% overall right now. The markets, the stock markets, and the crypto markets are dumping. 65. Does this mean that we are now at the end of the crypto bull market, and that we should be looking at a bearish scenario?
My money.
Over $200 billion wiped off the cryptocurrency market in a day. Globally, the United States accounts for 17%. I'll explain why that is. But the Chinese Communist Party is not a fan of Bitcoin.
So shit. Stupid. Listen, guys, I think it's time for me to call it quits. It's just the negative comments, the responsibility. I know a lot of you guys got wrecked. I just wanted to build the best community. But you made it all clear that I am not wanted. I'm going to take a break. I need to clear my mind. Me subiré a un camión. 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 Me subiré a un camión.
Thank you.
Disculpa por estar tan preocupada. Me subiré a un camión. Buenos días, Mrs. Moon. Three, two, one. Hola, papá.
Luis, mi hijo, ¿estás ahí?
Sí, soy yo. ¿Cómo estás?
Estoy aquí pescando, pero todavía no muerde nada.
personally, I showed up in '79, and it was a combination of a little bit bravery and an equal amount stupidity that let me get things going in Coney Island. I learned a lot from elderly people in Coney Island who were still running their businesses in their 70s and their 80s. And I realized there and then that there was something about the salt air that rotted the mind but preserved the body, that there were all these really loony, crazy people who were as healthy as can be at Coney Island, and I decided I wanted to be just like them and join that club. If I didn't grow up in New York City, as I've already said, I grew up in P.T. Barnum's hometown, Bridgeport, Connecticut, 60 miles away, but enough of a difference that anyone else my age who was a native New Yorker saw their childhood playground get destroyed, deteriorate, burn, riots, and there was a certain heartbreak that your childhood playground went through all of that. And I think it would have been a lot more difficult for a native New Yorker to do what I did, which was come into Coney Island at its worst, at its low point in the late 70s, and see potential there rather than be scared out of your wits and run away. Initially, the idea was on a much smaller scale than it ended up being. I rented a loft building and was going to live here and just have like a chamber theater that did shows, you know, once or twice a year. I literally rented a place in '79, put a few months of work into it, and the place burned to the ground. And that was a trial, but instead of that scaring me off, I came back and kept going. The group of people who had been helping me renovate my personal loft in '79 banded together in 1980, and we formed the nonprofit Coney Island USA. Without the place, my place that had burned to the ground, we would congregate and hang out at Lily Santangelo's World in Wax Museum. And Lily's place, the World in Wax, became a home. Lily essentially became my adopted extra grandmother, but she was Grandma Moses on LSD. Lily was sort of whacked, so she had these incredible wax figures, like incredibly well done wax figures from the 1920s, but then at some point Lily had decided she didn't like their complexion, and she took these figures with this glowing wax quality and painted over them. And then over the years, in an unheated the building, the paint flaked. And these wax figures of famous people, and often forgotten famous people because they went back to the 1920s. So you would have Ruth Gray, a famous, probably the most famous woman murderer in New York State, the first woman executed in New York State, or President McKinley. Who remembers President McKinley? With emphysema, their like skin was flaking off. So the people I had gathered that time in the early 1980s, we were literally carefully with our fingernails removing the paint off of the wax skin, trying to get back to the wax underneath. We discovered that Lily had over 100 heads stored in a hidden loft storage area, that heads had been removed from mannequins to allow for a new exhibit to come in. The mannequins would be redressed, the heads and hands would be stored. So you'd see up in the loft the cardboard box that would say Babe Ruth's head and hands, but they had been packed carefully in newspaper in a box, put away in a storage area, and that box with the newspaper with a wax head with human hairs turned out to be a wonderful nesting place for a rat. And baby rats would feed on the human hair. So when you would open up these boxes, there would be all of these pellets of rat dung, and then all the heads would have crew cuts because their hair had been eaten off by the rats. So it was just this totally bizarre situation where you would have Roberto Clemente, you would have President Kennedy, you would have President McKinley, but you would have Ruth Snyder, you would have guys dismembering bloody children in bathtubs, and overhead was a bad folk art painting of Dante's Inferno, and it just had this incredible, bizarre feel to it. And, you know, it was Lily's personality, and it wasn't that it was the best wax museum. It wasn't even that it was the oldest wax museum. It was just the most bizarre wax museum and had this incredible Coney Island presence. And we loved it. We did a lot of restoration work. And then finally, Lily contacted me in '81, in trouble at the wax show, need your help, is what her Christmas card said. Well, it turned out over the winter, a vehicle had backed into the roll-down gate. The gate had buckled, broke the showcase behind it where George Washington was standing. So first we had to clean that up. We did a whole restoration of the museum, but Lily needed a new attraction. In 1981, John Lennon had been shot. So Lily said, I want you to do John Lennon for me, which ended up the last ever exhibit at the World in Wax. I went through the White Album and picked the 5x10 glossy photo of John Lennon. We mailed it off to her wax sculpture in Pittsburgh. A few months later, a box came. What was in the box? John Lennon's head and hands, but new with hair, no rat dung. I worked with Romeo from Girl Loves Boy, a hair salon in Soho, and we dressed a mannequin, all white suit, love beads, peace sign, white sneakers. And we decided to help Lily and promote Lily. We would not only get press, which led to me doing some freelance writing first for a publication that no longer exists, the Soho Weekly News, but the cover of the Daily News weekend section about the World in Wax, and that was successful and helped Lily. And we decided we'll put on a show like Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, and that ended up Tricks and Treats at the Wax Museum. Halloween, October 31, 1981, was the first public show ever by the not-for-profit Coney Island, USA, and all of these incredible artists, installation artists, performance artists, did work, did installations. Lily gave me keys for a month. People, after the season closed, the entire month of October, did art installations. Charles Ludlam, the late genius of the Ridiculous Theatrical Company, filmed a silent movie there. We got a lot of attention. It was our first show. We had the centerfold of the Daily News, a little write-up in the New York Times, the Drama Review, a very reputable intellectual journal of theater, did an 8-page documentation. And it just had such momentum and good feeling to it. It had such momentum and good feel to it that was the motivation that we were on to the rights organization and keep going. And of course, it set the template for the next 20 years, that it got a lot of press attention. A lot of people knew about it, and it didn't make any money. And, you know, the next 20 years of Coney Island, USA.
的生活应该很健康吧？每天早早的起床，根本不用闹钟的那种，然后悠悠的喝杯美式咖啡去水肿，慢慢开始化个漂亮的妆，感觉他每次出门前都会精心打扮。就算下楼丢个垃圾，应该也会很时髦，不像我穿着睡衣就下楼了。她的午餐应该是跟闺蜜在洋气的户外露台吃的吧，就是法租界梧桐树下的那一种。他们惬意地享受着阳光和美食，这才是真正的上海小资生活呀。我想她的高跟鞋肯定是当季最新款。为什么他穿高跟鞋一点都不累啊？单饭喽！像他这么精致的人，肯定不会吃外卖。冰箱里一定是塞满了新鲜的蔬菜和水果，而且超整齐的那一种。他的身材可真好，我是不是也该运动一下了？哎呀，好冷啊，好冷啊！哎呀，算了算了，明天再说吧，明天再说吧。他晚上都会干什么呢？美女肯定都有夜生活，估计现在已经打扮得超热辣的，跟闺蜜去酒吧了吧？
吃素啊？
长成他这样，绝对不缺桃花。追他的男生，肯定都从这儿排到巴黎了。不过，有可能他根本就不想谈恋爱。
你最喜欢他哪里呀？
或者就跟他们玩玩。
眼睛要挑一张吗？那我现在给你算一下，算这张啦。
这是什么呀？
我也不知道。
I don't know how to say goodbye.
好羡慕啊
Think of any words.
最新的大片上线了，都没人陪我去。伊娃一看就是那种随便招招手，各种帅哥陪她看电影的人。哎，算了，过几个月网上有了，我自己在家看吧。全校女生都在暗恋的男神，看都不看我一眼。但他一定喜欢伊娃这种类型的吧？他看起来就是那种特别浪漫的人。你说他会不会一大早就出现在他家门口？伊娃慢慢的打开门。惊喜的尖叫，两个人幸福的拥抱，从此公主和王子过上了幸福的生活。
死了，大清早的。伊娃约会前，应该先去跟闺蜜逛个街吧。
他们要么就去的是奢侈品店，或者也是那种买手店，反正都是那种高大上的，我根本没勇气走进去的地方。我只舍得线上买买算了。不过呢，你仔细想想，我的生活也不差啊。虽然没有完美的男朋友，但还好，闺蜜一直都陪着我。我俩都是大龄单身，但是因为有彼此，倒也不觉得有什么不好的。我知道这样说起来有点矫情，但是难过的时候有朋友陪着，感觉比昂贵的衣服更珍贵呢。伊娃，你是很特别，所有人都羡慕你。不过，说不定在元宇宙的世界里，我们也能成为好朋友。我的生活也可以像你一样的完美。